4 a.m. club, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Anybody that believes Candace Owens, come here. Anybody that thinks that this is just dementia, come here, sit down. Anybody that thinks that, this man is on the verge, come here, sit down. I am not an expert on much of anything, but I am an accidental expert on something that they won't even let us hashtag right now. And where I learned the very most about it was on this site by reading and doing deep dives in psychology and all of that. We have seen this man, okay? We have seen what's going on with this man. And there are so many people that were not a neurosurgical ICU nurse. And I know that there's a really great creator on here. He's like, I have a PhD in physical therapy, and I've taken care of people with dementia. Oh, no. Dementia would be a fucking blessing compared to what we're dealing with right now. So I'm just going to read some things because I'm not going to be able to caption this at all, or it'll not go out. And I'm just going to talk about a couple things. First of all, Candace Owens said there was going to be something in the second week. A great creator, and I can't remember his name, but I've just got to get this information out before I go off to get my lab work done. I feel like that I'm trying to pull people out of a burning building, because if we don't do something quick, we're going to see another Vietnam situation, but worse, because at least with Vietnam, there were some people around that had some sense. Hegseth said yesterday that he is dismissing people from the Pentagon. A post that I made earlier said the Pentagon is scrambling to keep boat strike survivors out of U.S. court. Of course they are. But most importantly, Trump seized a tanker off of Venezuela. The U.S. seized an oil tanker off of the coast of Venezuela. And kids, yes, this has to do with oil, but it has to do more with back in the USSR. It has to do with money. It has to do with money. And let me explain it. Let me explain it like our lives depend on it. There is something that you can look up elsewhere, and I'm not saying that this has to do with anybody that we know, but there is, first of all, they just gave Trump's son $630 million to go get for a, you can read about that on my last post because I'm not going to talk about it out loud, but let me tell you what I can tell you about. This, I started trying to hashtag a thing called narcissistic. Like, what does a tornado do? Okay? I can't even say the words here. Now, I'm not trying to sound like an absolute fucking crazy person. I'm trying to sound like someone who was raised by a narcissist and was married to 2 of them. There's nothing more dangerous than when a narcissist perceives failure. Like if they are running out of money, if they lose their job, if they lose beauty contests, if, like, maybe, for instance, all of the South suddenly went to the other side. We saw everything that transpired before the last beauty contest. There's nothing he wouldn't have done to not have perceived failure. And any type of failure makes them dive heavier into whatever it is that eases their pain. Whether you've got somebody that needs to go to a 12-step program, for instance, and, we see them, completely nodding off, and people are like, well, that's because of a medication, because of the dementia. No, it's not. It's because he knows that we know that he has failed. And a narcissist, let me just read you a few things. Go read my last post. One time I posted just to the regular thing, but let me explain to you what a narcissistic, they won't even let us hashtag that on Instagram. Over here, they say there's only 2 hashtags. If you say, what is a like what happened in 9/11 when the buildings came down, there's only 4 of those hashtags on this app, because what's going on with him as a neurosurgical ICU nurse, we do not have to fucking worry about dementia or his memory. We have to worry about this. Let me explain it. This thing is shame, rage, spiral. It's a destructive spiral where the narc is threatened by criticism or perceived failure, which triggers intense rage to avoid those feelings, leading to him lashing out a destructive behavior, which is more shame and more escalating. This unpredictable pattern involves intense anger, erratic behavior, manipulation, like smear campaigns, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I knew that was all a narcissistic deal. and ultimately harms both their narcissist and their fragile self-esteem, that completely unravels, which leads to further self-destructive behavior. So he cannot face his feelings of shame. They hate themselves constantly. They go into impulsive, poor judgment, self-destructive tendencies of sudden abandonment and S abuse, not the one that we're talking about, but more that. Their sense of self shatters, so then they go into a shame rage cycle. They become disoriented. They have angry outbursts, irritability, increase in physical or verbal aggression, depression, vindictive behaviors, withdrawal from others, which we're not seeing any of that. Shoot, I got to go back to my post. But I'm telling you that what we're seeing, if you guys can just come back for a minute, anybody that has any experience with this type of relationship with these people and how they behave when they are in a collapse. Think of 9/11, okay? And ask yourself why this app and Zuck are not letting us hashtag what's actually happening. The reason I'm saying that it is so much more dangerous than any dementia, people are like, he's only got 6 months. I'm like, dude, you do not know dementia. You do not know dementia. I mean, when we hear the erratic behavior and see him tweeting like 300 times in one night, that is this. That is them. Remember how we used to spin a top like as a kid? That's what he's doing. It has nothing to do with sundowners. I've taken care of head injuries. I've taken care of bleeds in the brain. I've taken care of glioblastomas. I've taken care of emergency brain surgeries. I've taken care of end-stage dementia. I've taken care of the type of dementia that hasta la vista babies, he has. I'm telling you, this is not dementia. What it is the minute that they are losing money, everybody keeps talking about, oh, he's making money on this. Putin's out of money. The money is what has kept him up. His perceived image is what's kept him up from this. And now we have a complete collapse of his self, his inner self. And he knows that he cannot fake, MAGA is leaving. MAGA people are leaving the ship. And all of the billionaires that sided with him are trying to hide it. Look up what I posted and see if you don't see all of that. I'll try to go live later if I can. Thanks. Call your Senate.